Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jenn Trepeck, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. This week, we're talking about what's in your cup. So I heard this story, and it just made me pause. It gave me that food for thought. And so I made a note of it. And I think this week is the perfect time to share it because if you're listening the day this goes live, Salad with a Side of Fries podcast is officially 7 years old. Totally wild. I mean, when I started this 7 years ago, I had no idea that this is where we would be. And to commemorate 7 years, I have something very special coming up that is officially going to start next week. For today, though, in our bite-sized bonus episode Nutrition Nugget, it's a bit about mindset. So, like I said, when I heard this story, it made me pause, and I made a note to share it with all of you. So here we are. Now, as the story goes, so a Buddhist monk asked his students a question. He said, if you're carrying a cup of coffee and someone bumps into you, why did you spill the coffee? Each and every student said, because someone bumped into me. He replied and just said, no. He goes on, the reason you spilled the coffee is because that's what you were carrying in your cup. If you were carrying water, you would have spilled water. Then he said, and this is what got to me, whenever life shakes you, whatever you're carrying is going to spill out. So if you're carrying fear or jealousy or anger or greed, that's what's going to spill out. If you're carrying love, compassion, kindness, empathy, that's what's going to spill out. So each and every day, pause and think to yourself, what am I carrying in my cup today? And I think part of the reason why this struck me is because we spend a lot of time on Salad with a Side of Fries going through the nuts and bolts of health, wellness, vitality, longevity, Healthspan, and this week's episode, Sexspan. And we also know that from all of the research, and if you're a longtime listener, you've heard me talk about it. I talk about two things actually in so many episodes that I can't even count how many. One is the impact of stress, and the other is the impact of community, connection, and purpose. And so to me, this story fits right into that. Stress is often what shakes us. I also think it impacts what fills our cup. And then even still, what spills out of our cup impacts community and connection. And so it just left me wondering, what kind of a world would it be if more people were like you? More people chose to carry love and compassion and kindness and empathy as this monk showed us in their cups. And for all of you, all of those things, offer them towards yourself, not only towards others. And what would it be like if that's what we all spilled out when life shakes us? I say it all the time. So mindset is powerful. And my hope is that this story from our Buddhist monk of what's in your cup helps you shift your perspective and fill your cup with maybe a little bit more joy, more peace, and more generosity today and every day, this 7th year of Salad with a Side of Fries and onward. So ask yourself, I guess, what's in your cup today? As always, friends, I'm your host and health coach, Jenn Trepeck. Connect with me on Instagram or all social media. I'm at Jenn Trepeck, JENNTREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideoffries.com. Pick your platform, send a message. I love hearing from you. It is the highlight of my everyday. Suze Bratton, thank you again for joining us this week.
My pleasure, Jenn. You are just a delight, and it was my honor to be here, and I hope we shifted some lives.
Likewise, yes. And friends, if you are not already join us in the Happy Healthy Hub. You'll go to asaladwithasideofries.com/membership. This shows your support for this podcast, this community, and above all, your health. On top of this week's episode in full video with some behind the scenes pieces, your 24/7 Ask Me Anything on the community board, you'll get this week's recipe for the roasted beet and fennel salad with walnut breadcrumbs. I know, it's so delicious. Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.